So, where were we? We were working on recipes for a bit. Yeah, let's do that a little bit more actually, because I need to clear room in my inventory. And there's one thing we can make by just cooking a single ultra shroom. Also, if I do this, then I don't have to worry so much about eating ultra shrooms by accident, or needing ultra shrooms to survive. So there's benefit to actually getting this out of the way now, so I have more flexibility. Got a mushroom steak, cool. Hey, guess whose memory is terrible? Talent log should almost be done. We only have the 2 super bosses left. Badge list should be done -2. One will be getting it from a quest. So we can need the maple ultra. Wait, was that right? No, maple jelly. That's what I'm looking for. So once again, we need to buy a singular mushroom. There is one thing by combining a healthy salad and a shroom steak, so I need to remember to not do anything bad to the shroom steak before now and then. Because we're actually buying a mushroom every time, we're actually not saving any inventory space here now that I think about it. This is a very ill-conceived plan. Yeah, jelly mushroom. Hell yeah. So, from... are you on 11 streams of this already? I really like Thousand Year Door, and I've been playing it a lot. Maple honey super, and maple super. But hi Nicole, welcome on in. We're actually in the post game now, which makes sense given we're 11 streams in. But yeah, we've still got a few more streams to go of this, just clearing out everything. Hi, did I use the maple syrup, or did I actually have a brain cell and think about not using a rare item for once in my life? Yeah, I already used it. God damn it. Oops. So those can be bought at Twilight Town. Wow, I did not calculate this well at all. This is why we need to do an extra, like, hour today, so I can just get my inventory together. So it's not a complete dumpster fire. Please don't crash tomorrow. I'll do my best not to crash tomorrow. I wouldn't want to crash tomorrow if I can help it. But I'll be okay. I say as I'll probably be commentating on someone else's stream tomorrow, unless that call is full. Yeah, tomorrow will be a rest day for sure. Again, I'm so far ahead on editing, I haven't even been thinking about editing lately. I got a bunch done, so yeah. See, my thing is, I'm a workaholic. So, like, part of my problem is I overwork, partly just as a way to keep my head level, I guess. We'll start that. Oh. We're gonna have to sell some stuff, aren't we? What can we sell out of this? We're gonna have to do one at a time, aren't we? Look at all those whack-a-bumps. Yeah, I'm not gonna end up using a thunderbolt, but like selling one at a time is going to be infuriating, isn't it? I do apologize if I'm genuinely worrying anybody with the things I'm saying. But I promise I'll do my best to be fine. Yeah, we can store one thing, so I guess we'll store... I mean, we can just use these if we need to... Yeah, I might actually just sell the maple. Because we don't really... It's not gonna heal that much. So yeah, I think I'll actually toss that, and then we need to keep the steak. The roast we could probably sell, but shrug, we'll worry about that later. So our jam and jelly, because we'll need that for a little bit later. So hey, remember that shortcut we got? We can skip a lot of things here, which is nice. We don't have to walk all the way back over to the creepy steeple. We can just do this. The one benefit of walking is we could potentially run into an Amazy Daisy, but if we're first striking everything anyway, we won't even tell if it's an Amazy Daisy. You can't tell. I don't think Amazy Daisies are actually visible in the field, only in the actual fight. So yeah, it actually wouldn't help us that much. So hey, quiz time. So what we want to do is go over to this little hole once again and shimmy in. And now we have a little boo friend to play a game with. Wow, unfurling is not X again. Ha, the interloper returns. Want me to quiz you again? If you got all 3 of my questions right, I'll give you something good. Your first question. Which townsperson is guarding the way to Rogueport's east side? That's Gus. Very good. Question 2. Remember the villager turned pig you met when first arriving in Twilight Town? What was his name? Gloomer. Question 3. What will you find on the table if you stay at the inn in Twilight Town? That is a peachy peach. Very good. You got all 3 questions right. Guess you earned this with your huge brain, you nerd. Come back again sometime, okay? Gets real dull in here. I'm just gonna leave that. I don't want another boo sheet. I have like 5. I'll be okay. So yeah, we have to keep going back and forth. Back for more, eh? Want me to quiz you again? If you get all 3 of my questions right, I'll give you something good. Remember the statues? After 3 pounds on the red one, how many hits on the blue? That was 4, right? Yeah. Not 64. At the bridge in Killhall Key, some sailors left Bobby behind to escape, who went straight back to camp first. It was a toad, followed by Crump. What's the name of the toad that opened a shop on Killhall Key? That's Thrifty. Thrifty. Again, we can just stay at the inn. It's not like super helpful. Actually, I'm gonna do a thing real quick. Equipped. Drop feeling fine and swap it out for bump attack. Just to make my life easier. Again, this will be pretty low-key, so that's why I'm not worried about going long today. Okay. What did the waitress on the XS Express lose? Her shell earrings, not the letter B. What sort of brain does Detective Pennington claim to have? Improbably large. Question 3. What's the name of the hotel in Poshley Heights? That is the Royal Poshley Park Tower. I have a list up, by the way. I'm not doing this from memory. I'm not that locked in. Where do we actually get ice storms? That is Glitzville, right? I need to actually double check some of the shops for the recipes later on. Quiz 4. Bob's father's name Goldbob. What's his mother's name? That's Sylvia. If you stay at the inn and fire outpost, what will you find on the table? Space food. Which crystal star was found inside the Exnaut Fortress? The Crystal Star. The only one that would be a fake answer that would make sense would be the Diamond Star. Yeah, we're losing out on all the items. I don't really care, because I'm not going to be likely to use attack items except for the Pit of 100 Trials, which, again, we proved we could get through anyway, so we're probably fine. Quiz 5. What's Hooktail in relation to the Gloomtail in the Palace of Shadow, the younger sister? What's the name of the son mentioned in the letter held by the Dullbones in Hooktail Castle, that is Colorado? Cooper mentioned, her symbol appears in the black pillars inside the Poshley... which symbol appears on the black pillars inside the great tree? the left-facing puny. So, okay, that's mildly tempting, but again, I'm running out of room. So your mileage may vary on actually holding all this stuff. One more. This one's a doozy. Back from more, eh? Wanna take a quiz? If you get all 15 of my brain-melting questions right, I'll give you something good. Your first question. Gumbella's which year of her studies at the University of Goom? That is a junior. Yeah, the bell tower is very cool. Question 2. What's the name of the puny shopkeeper in the Great Tree? Pungent. I'm so sorry for that name. What's the name of the manager of the Glissville Fresh Juice Shop? That is... Podler, not to be confused with Podley. In the Glissville Glitz Pit, which team is described as the Grim Death Burglars, the Handovers? Question 5. Which model of hammer did you obtain from the Glissville Glitz Pit? Hammerwhack 2005. You can tell this game came out in 2004. How many crows can be found throughout all of Twilight Town? Now this is just a rude question, that's 10. Which of these is not one of Luigi's adventuring pals? Hefty. He is the toad that stole the soup. Question 8. Which of these things does not have spikes on its head? That'd be the Spinia. Question 9. Remember Lala, the boo who works at the parlor in Rogueport? Which of these things does she like? Honey mushrooms. If you get high scores, she'll eventually talk about herself, and this is one of the tidbits about herself, I think. What time was shown on the clock when Mario's group first arrived at Riverside Station? 5 o'clock, apparently. I thought it was 6, but I guess it's 5. Question 11. What is the name of the far uppermost bomb that judges personalities by studying people's mustaches? How are you supposed to just know this? Which of these enemies can only be fought in Yuxnot Fortress? That is the Cross Yux. Again, it is not X Yux. Which of these enemies can be found in the Palace of Shadow, the Dark Wizard? Question 14. Not counting Mario, how many of his partners wear a hat? That is 3. Vivian, Gumbella. Who's the other? Oh, Bobbery. How many boos came out of the box located underneath the creepy steeple? Total 200. You got all 15 questions, right? Meh. I mean, boo. Here's your nerd prize, nerd. Come back again sometime. You guys are all dull in here. Let's go. We got a money. You got a money badge. Makes more coins appear after battle. So you can buy this at the Pianta Parlor. It costs like 400 Pianta tokens, though. So, hey, I don't want to do that. That sounds like a lot of effort. While I'm here, given we're gonna have to come back here a couple times anyway, I'm just gonna go do some prep work. I have bump attack equipped, so I can just kind of like power through here really easily. Wow, I actually remembered the positioning of the bridge. That is like a very esoteric detail for the game to actually keep track of this whole time. To be like, oh yeah, you move the bridge or the staircase to the side. Actually, I think it'd be faster to go this way. Drop down, go down the hole, move on. Yeah, this whole series is interesting as I've been planning it out. I mean, the stream series specifically. Like, the concept of Fox Girls Favorites I'm really enjoying as an excuse to go through games like this again. The one downside is trying to sort out a list that doesn't take 5 years. We are on game 14, and we are like 3/4 of the way through the year, so it's gonna bog down even harder going forward because we have like RPGs beyond Mario. So yeah, my big concern with Fox Girls Favorites is just everything bogging down once we get to like Persona, if I do a Persona. I'm kind of on the fence about doing a Persona in all honesty. Like, Persona 5 is one of my favorite games. However, oof, that game is long. I've had a long play of the game that was like 72 hours, no, 76 hours long. That is not a joke. So yeah, do I want to invest that much time into it? Because, like, what's 76 divided by 3? Because, well, I guess we're doing 4 hours today, but assuming I do 3-hour streams, still, by the time we get to 2017 in this retrospective, what would that be? 2? Then you're left with 16, so it'd be a little over 25 streams. Assuming I basically match the speed of that long play, that's ridiculous. That is like an absurd amount of time. That is wild to think about streaming long enough to get through a Persona game on stream. I know people do play Persona on stream, I just don't know if I have it in me to actually survive a Persona game. Because god, those are long. Alright, flexing culinary muscles again. This should give us the healthy salad, as ST salad cures conditions like poisoning and replenishes 15 FP. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if this is wrong, I'm gonna be mildly upset because the guide was wrong. If we combine a healthy salad with a shroom steak, we should get something special. Please be right. If the guide's wrong, I'm gonna have lost 2 very difficult to cook items. So I hope this is correct. Sorry to keep you waiting, this should be a nice dish. Go on, take it, Stompy. You got a Zest Deluxe. Tasty meal made by Zesty. Replenishes 40 HP and 40 FP. That is very good. Alright, I should be going in order for the sake of me being able to remember what I've already done. So we need the shell. We need the super. We need 2 super mushrooms. Hey, was I proactive and did I buy a maple syrup? I thought I did, but I guess not. Oops. That's okay. The streams normally went 5-6 hours and it took you 8 months. Oof. Yeah, if I, like, my plan for RPGs going forward that have the option, the plan is to use New Game Plus, like, straight up. For things like Persona games, I'm gonna use New Game Plus. If I do them. Xenoblade is a lock, as in, I love Xenoblade as a series. I will definitely do 2 and 3. I'm not making promises about Torna or Future Redeemed, I'm gonna be real. But at least I want to do base games of 2 and 3. So because of that, I'm actually prepping a New Game Plus run of 2 off to the side. I'm doing as many Blade quests as I can stomach, basically. That might sound too harsh for what I'm trying to say, but it is not entirely an exaggeration to say stomach. Cause, damn, yeah, bear. If you know, you know. Cause, oof, that quest. But again, I was also trying to get the rare, really rare blade, if you know, you know. And I actually did get her, by the way. The super rare. So, was very happy about that. Took a long time. I was at 180 hours by the time I got the final rare blade I was missing. Maple syrup. Do I still need a honey super? I guess I do, huh? Wow, we're already like half an hour into the segment and I'm still just cooking over here. Yeah, this is gonna take a bit. I'm gonna mix things up a bit. I'm gonna do something else for a little bit, I think. The other question is, do I do the Glitz Pit a second time? Because I could. Just do I want to? Maple Super is not gonna be that good. I'm gonna sell this just to get it out of the way. And then I'm gonna withdraw the other super we have and pick up a honey syrup, I think. That's what we need. Where is that? There, here. Here it is. Yeah, maple... Honey Super, that's what it's called. I'm also been kind of hit or miss about reading out what these actually do. I'll fully admit. I'm not gonna worry about it, just for the sake of my voice and time and everything. Oh, thank you for the hydration check. I definitely need one. Because I make interesting life choices in moments like this. But again, given that I'm just doing side questy stuff, this isn't that taxing. I'll also probably be selling fodder, to be honest. So what do we have here? That's the wrong list. We're at 21 out of 58. That's actually pretty fast. So we need a Super Shroom and a Fire Flower. We did the Zest Deluxe, at least, so that's one very difficult thing we don't have to worry about. I might actually drop this for a little bit and work on a different area for a sec. So over here we got all the game cards. So we might as well actually play some mini games. Hi, hello there Mario, welcome to the parlor. Even the great hero Mario should relax once in a while. What can I show you? The playing game. The playing game? In this game you turn into a paper airplane and compete to see how far you can fly. The farther you fly, the more Piantas you win. If you land on one of the platforms with numbers, you'll get a bonus. But if you land on a penalty tile, you'll lose Piantas, so be careful when landing. Okay, it'll cost you 10 Piantas to play, okay? Okay, stay on your toes. So yeah, we're gonna do all the mini games just to show them off. I'm not going to guarantee success. Good luck. Especially with the boat game, I think we're gonna wash out immediately. I'm gonna be real. Well, I'll try to do my best on all these. We can actually use the Piantas. Yeah, they turn themselves into a currency. So yeah, there are Piantas that we can collect, but we also want to hit like a bonus tile at the end. I'm bad at being a plane, apparently. Okay. I'll take it. 413.76. We collected 7 Piantas along the way, and we landed on a +1. So 12 Piantas just for getting that much. So we actually made a profit of 10 by playing that much. So that's actually very good. And -10, oof. Never just turn yourself into coins, guy. I wish sometimes. Thank you. Come again, okay? Paper game. Okay, the paper game. In this game, you have to get paper thin with ZR to avoid the wind and get to the finish. If you don't turn paper thin as soon as the wind starts blowing, you'll get blown away. If you fall off the track, you'll lose. The higher you place, the more Piantas you'll win. The shorter your time, the more bonus points you'll get, so get to the goal as fast as you can. Okay, it'll cost you 10 Piantas. Cool. We'll need a lot of cake mix. As a spoiler, we will be making many a cake, so... I can also just buy the Piantas. Hi, Lungus. Hi, Koopy Koo. Why are you here? I see Wonky is here also. He's like the guy in the underground who will tell you stories from coins. It's like, why are they here? This is scary. Sometimes you can actually weather the brunt of the fan. It can be a little risky trying to do that though, so I don't necessarily recommend doing that. There's fans in the foreground and background also. Hi, Kubiku. Oh, god damn it. I kinda screwed up at the end, but it's fine. We got 5th place. God, we had a profit of... God, we got a profit of 19 and we got 5th place. Like, this is the one that everyone recommends to do because it's like the easiest to get a lot of Piantas quickly. If you're doing it legit, if you don't just buy your way to getting the Piantas you need, which I will probably end up doing instead. Tube. Okay, the tube game. In this game, you have to roll up into a tube to navigate the difficult courses. You'll have to be able to dodge obstacles and navigate narrow paths. The faster you reach the goal, the more Piantas you'll earn. Fall off the track and you'll lose Piantas instead, so roll with caution. If you don't finish the race within a minute and a half, you'll get a game over, so be careful, but do it quickly. Neat. So yeah, I didn't do great on that minigame, and I still got like I almost doubled the amount I put in. Oh, not even double, triple the amount I put in. Hi, we are Tube. Do I remember how this works? We shall find out. This is a very good remix, by the way. Now, one thing I actually like is how some of the music in this game almost feels like it channels different Paper Marios. Obviously, you have a lot of Origami King and Color Splash in the music, but you also have a decent amount of like Super Paper Mario in a couple of the songs. Now we get to the fun part. I'm stressing. Okay, we're good. We're fine. You can mini jump with B. That's actually unusual to this, like unique to this minigame, I'm pretty sure. Like bank around here. We're good. Whew. A lot of times I'm not even in that much danger, but I still make these noises anyway. Jesus, 35 Piantas for that. Well damn. We are rolling in money at this point. Time to lose it all. Unleashed Short Hop, yeah. Like, Sonic Unleashed is actually a game on the Fox Girls favorites list I might take off, because I have stories about the game, but I don't know if it's actually a favorite. Oh, the boat game. In this game, you become a boat and dodge obstacles as you sail to the finish. You'll sail forward automatically, but you can lower your speed by tilting the left control stick in the opposite direction. The current will speed up during the second lap, so steer carefully. The faster you finish, the more Piantas you'll win. Hit any obstacles, however, and you'll lose Piantas instead. If you don't finish the race within a minute and a half, you'll get a game over, so be careful, but do it quickly. Okay, I'll cost you 10 Piantas, cool. I also say cool at the end of dialogue a lot, I'm noticing. Like, a little vocal tics I've been picking up on, partly because I'm streaming and having to edit myself, so I'm picking up on the things they say. We are now both. Also, when I say unleashed, I mean unleashed, specifically. The Wii version is the one I have the bigger nostalgia / interesting memories for. But yeah, it's like, is that actually one of my favorite games? So I'm kind of second guessing having it in here. I might just do Unleashed separately, as like its own stream, but not as part of the stream series, basically. We have to do 2 laps of this, right? I already forgot. Don't like that. Okay, we're fine. We are fine. Yeah, not gonna lie, I kind of forgot what she told us already. But yeah, you also lose Piantas for running into barrels, so we gotta be careful about that. Oh, this is fast. Okay. This is going great. No sweat. Neat. We are not gonna get much of a profit off this mini game. We were very slow, and I ran into a lot of obstacles. -4, but we got 26 Piantas back, so could have been worse. I feel like I'm also being haunted by the number 26, and it's not my favorite number. Well, I guess while we're here, we might as well do a thingy. We got all the badges, actually. Yeah, money is expensive, so I would recommend doing the Boo minigame for it. Refund's the one we actually want. And that should be all of the badges, actually, except one post-game one. Yeah, if we go behind the counter now, she'll give us trivia about herself, but I'm just gonna move on. Back to item management for the next 20 minutes, basically. Oh hi, congrats. You bearer of badges. Congratulations, you obtained every single badge, whether earned or uncovered, purchased or found, the complete collection is now at your fingertips. As proof of your efforts, we've sent you a special reward, the badge trophy. Check your useful items to admire it yourself or show it off to friends. You've earned that right to brag. So yeah, we actually have a trophy. They actually do give you, like, post... Wait, what am I trying to say? They give you, like, completion acknowledgement, basically. It's not like a reward in the traditional sense, but they do acknowledge your achievements, which is nice. I like when games do that. It's very thoughtful when the game actually doesn't just... like, put you through all this effort and then give you no reward in exchange. It's actually merits playing the lotto game just because we'd actually get a mushroom more likely than not, but we're gonna move on. Okay, what is our storage looking like? This is a very good item. I think I'll keep that. Some of these are kind of like whatever, so... So this one is a fire flower. So yeah, there are also trophies for all recipes and all titles. And there's actually a special post-game reward if you get all 3 trophies. If I recall correctly. So we should do Super Shroom and Fire Flower. Like so. Voila. There we go, and that should be another zest recipe. Looks like it came out perfect, yum. Go on, take it, Stompy. We got a zest dinner. Hell yeah. Zest special requires pasta, so I don't know if I want to do that right now. It's next on the list, but maybe we should just buy a crap ton of pasta. Me, for real, for real. This is the not great one, okay. Honey Super is actually kind of expendable, I'd say. Honey Roast is also kind of like whatever, I'd argue. So I'll sell that too. A couple of these, like, gradual syrup I think is needed for cooking. So, mushroom, I'm gonna buy this real quick. And we're just gonna buy a shit ton of pasta. Again, this is one of those things that's a pain in the ass on GameCube, and is... I mean, still kind of a pain in the ass in this version, I'm gonna be real. But is greatly aided by the ability to fast travel. Being able to just hop in the pipe and warp is like way easier than having to go down to the sewers and manually climb up to a ledge with the right pipe. So yeah, this is a lot more convenient, I would argue. What if we just max out our inventory with pasta? We can carry like 5 or like 4, right? Which will actually set us up pretty nicely for the next set of recipes. Did I actually ever make a fried egg? I don't think I did, actually. I don't think we can carry anymore. Yeah, you have too much stuff. Please sell, use or store something and come back. Okay. Depending on how fast, one, the Pit 100 Trials takes, and 2, how many recipes we get through in the next, like, 20 minutes or so, we might actually be able to finish the game next stream. I'm not gonna, like, hold my breath on that, because, you know, I know my luck, but... it should be doable. Relatively doable. It's also Inky Sauce, which is hot sauce plus a turtley leaf. I need to actually remember that for later. But yeah, I did write everything down in advance, so that's why I'm able to get through this semi-quickly. And again, we are kind of skimming dialogue too, which is helping. Where's the... there it is. Oh, the pasta. Yeah, off stream I'll also double check to make sure I didn't accidentally erase one that I needed to keep. Because I might do that too, knowing me. You got a Zest Special. Not bad. So we can keep cooking though. We got all that pasta after all. I want to say some of the pasta ones can actually be mixed and matched, so like you can use like the next item, the spaghetti, and use that for like a different pasta recipe. Like you can just combine it with a different item and get something different out of it. This says these two together. So like 2 sets of pasta together. Wait, you can't do that, huh? Oh. I wrote this down wrong, didn't I? Well, that's unfortunate. That is extremely unfortunate. I mean, wouldn't that just be hot sauce, now that I think about it? It's TTYD spicy pasta. What does it say? And also we have to get a turtley leaf next, so at least that's not too much of an ordeal. Okay, yeah, it's hot sauce. I don't know why it said, I don't know why I wrote it down as cooking fresh pasta twice. If the guide I was reading was just wrong, or if I goofed up. Either is likely. It's like, I'm not gonna put the blame on the game when I am also prone to not locking in. Hey, can I respawn this? Is it gonna be that nice to me? Where I can just go back and forth and get another turtley leaf? Or do I have to actually leave and come back? Damn, okay, the game's gonna be nice. Hell yeah. Never mind. The game was nice, but I forgot. I feel like the spaghetti is the most expendable item we have. I'm just gonna leave a plate of spaghetti in front of the mayor's house. Surely nothing bad can come of that. And then there's all the tea-related dishes too, which that's gonna be a thing, because we have to keep going back and forth. This is Snow Bunny, which we got just by completing the next quest we're doing. Yeah, I'm just kind of continually consulting this guide just to make sure I'm not getting too ahead of myself here. Fresh pasta plus turtley leaf. That should be up here, yeah. You know, I was thinking if I was more, proactive. And to be honest, this is a problem I have every time I play Thousand Year Door. Something that would actually be really smart is to actually gather things up over time and do things throughout the game instead of all at once at the end of the game. That would probably make a lot more sense. Damn, the sell prices are high for these. So, Glitz Pit, correct? Oh, Glitzville, more specifically. And yeah, if Super Paper Mario also, it's like, I don't even know if Super actually tracks recipes the same way this game does, so I don't know if I'd do every recipe in Super either. The Super Paper Mario playthrough might be a little bit more lax than this one. Hi there, so any good chairs lately? No? Okay, well, want some hot sauce? And we have to pay for it. I mean, it's set to be a little hot commodity after all. How about 10 coins? How about another bottle? It's just 10 more coins. Oh, this is a slippery slope. Yeah. Again, there are gonna be quite a few games that I just complete because they're easy, but there's like the Pokemon games where it's like, I might not be as meticulous with completion on those, specifically like because both games in question would have Battle Frontiers. Potentially, if I do Emerald. I've been kind of second guessing Emerald. I love the game, but I do think Diamond makes, or Platinum more specifically, makes more sense. Just because it was my first Pokemon game, I think that just makes more sense than doing both. But also, it's my stream. I can do both if I want, but I just need to actually plan out some things. I'm also being a little bit uptight about trying to come up with a decent, you know, round number for everything. That is also on me. Being just a little too uptight about everything. Oh, thank God for cutscene skipping. Now I'm gonna test something. I hope the guide I saw was correct, because if not, this will be very awkward. Because according to the guide I saw, it should be possible, potentially, to combine this item and the last one and still get the item we want. But if this is wrong, then we have to, like, make another inky sauce. But yeah, it should be possible. Okay, now the guide I'm looking at makes it sound like you need fresh pasta for this, so I'm gonna not risk it. Good thing I looked. Again, this makes sense, but I just was wondering if I could, you know, shortcut it, basically. Again, the big question marks on my mind right now is, do we actually attempt the Glitzville second try? Or like Glitzville redo on stream, or do I just do that on my own time? I don't know if you need the champion spell to actually get the post-game reward. That's something else I need to look up. Though again, to be fair, normally I don't wait until post-game to actually fight through the Glitz Pit again. So even if I did that, it would actually go really fast. Like, cause like, if we're dealing, you know, let's see, 4 times 2 is 8 minimum. And then we have Yoshi being really powerful, and all of our party members in our entourage. I could equip specific badges. I could blow through that really quickly. So yeah, potentially, even if I did decide to do that, it wouldn't be that bad. On stream, it would probably take like an hour, maybe half an hour, if I'm really lucky with fight conditions. But yeah, we are actually making decent time on the recipes, I'd say, which I'm happy about. Not me completely forgetting what I was doing. Oh, I was getting the thing, the pasta for the inky sauce. Yeah. You also need the inky sauce for the choco cake, by the way, which it's just nice that they give you one, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, there's gonna be like 10 recipes coming up that need cake mix, so that's gonna be fun. A lot of trips back to the Pianta Parlor. Neat. Kill mango? Huh, that's an interesting combo. Let's see what we're looking at now. Recipes. 20 out of 58, so we're almost halfway there already. It's quite a bit after the pasta, so fried egg and spicy soup. And we can finally use the dried bouquet that's been sitting in inventory for God knows how long. Ever since the Bubba Olber quest, that would have been chapter 3, I think. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up pretty soon. I'm gonna get set up here. Probably just do a few more recipes, get to like the halfway point roughly. Fire, flower, and dried bouquet? Hope this is right, because this will be very awkward if it isn't. Because after this, then we'll start getting into all the cake-based recipes, and that'll take a bit. Nice. Making good progress here. I would say... Withdraw an egg. Again, I actually don't know how many... Wait, we had a hot sauce already. Why did I go buy another? Oops. There's also the teas, the juices. Those won't be that bad. Just like The biggest hurdle will just be having to go back and forth to get the gold leaf multiple times. I want to do something goofy here. I want to see what happens if I take the egg we just got and cook it again. And this is on purpose. I want to see if this actually will screw it up or not. Or if it'll just give me something else. Because there is actually a mistake option for if you screw up a recipe. So I want to see if that's what we get here. Unfortunately, that did not turn out quite right. Hey, it happens. Go on, take it, Stompy. Got a mistake. 1 HP, 1 FP. I want to say in Super Paper Mario it gets buffed slightly. Not, you know, too much, but still. Slight buff that makes it a little bit more worthwhile. We are still missing something. Huh. That is intriguing. What are we missing? Genuinely, I guess I must have forgotten to write something down, because there is still a gap here. Ink pasta. Yeah, I forgot to write one down. Oops. Kill mango plus turtley leaf. That feels like a ordeal to get. I mean, since we have a hot sauce in our inventory right now, we might as well do something else. Yeah, I'll make sure to get that written down for next time, but we'll buy a hot dog real quick. A very good day to you, perchance. That creature with you used to be my runaway egg. Why yes, it hatched from that incorrigible egg. I suppose it's for the best I didn't cook it. Now you're interested in a hoggle hot dog? Still only 10 coins apiece. May I tempt you? Oh. You know what? Actually, I think we should put a pin in this for later. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because we still need to sort our inventory a little bit, and that's gonna be a bit of a headache, trying to trade out a couple items at a time. So that's gonna be a bit. And I still need to actually accept the trouble, because I can't forget about that. But luckily, the good news is we only have to do half of the Pit of 100 Trials this time, to get to the super boss and the trouble and everything. Actually, I might sell a few things here, that would probably make more sense. Definitely sell the mistake. Spicy soup's probably not gonna be that helpful, and we can make one, another one if we need to, pretty easily. We can probably get rid of this. The special is slightly helpful. Withdraw. Whack-a-bumps, I think is what I will mostly want to take out here. Now that we have a little bit more breathing room, we can actually store some more stuff too. Store a couple of those, store the gradual syrup so I don't accidentally use it. And the ice storm so I don't accidentally use it. Maybe take out a couple more of the whack-a-bumps. Potentially. They're just good healing items. Yeah, beyond that, I think I'm actually pretty much set here. So next on our agenda, we are going to hop over to the east side once again to accept the actual trouble that we're going to start off with next time. I don't know if we're actually going to do Paper Mario on Friday, given that we beat the game today. Erase that graffiti from the swab. I need someone to go to the 50th level of the Pip 100 Trials for me, Shaboom. So I need someone pretty tough, Shaplowy. For details, please see me next to the cannon statue in Far Outpost, Shaboomity. I forgot we actually had to go talk to him first. I mean, I guess we could probably just go straight there. I don't think the game would stop us. But I like being thorough. I also don't envy my future self. I don't know how I'm editing this playthrough down. Because again, I do have a YouTube channel specifically for like episodic versions of streams, usually divided by ad breaks. So there's the question of how the hell do I edit this down to a reasonable amount of time? You agreed to help for my trouble, Shaplui. Thanks to you, Shaboom. There's the dungeon on the rogue port called Pit of 100 Trials, Shakao. I heard if one writes wish on wall of 50th level, then wish comes true, Shpop. I used big explosion to get down to 50th level and write wish, Shakrak. And I realized the whole thing was a hoax, Shadoop. I risked life getting down there for useless graffiti I wanted erased, Shashroom. I would explode it myself, ease of peas. But getting back down there is not ease of peas, Shakroom. So true. So could you go down to 50th level of Pit of 100 Trials and erase graffiti? Please, Shaploo. Will do. Next time. Because I've been streaming for many hours, and I should probably rest. So again, this last session here wasn't that bad. This was pretty leisurely, I'd say. And this will take us straight to the pit, so we're already basically ready to go, as a certain half-sheenie will say. We also have a very special puny, we'll talk to them next time. We also don't need to tattle anything except the actual super boss, so that'll save us time as well. Sort. Type. So, bump attack will be useless. Might as well unequip it. What do I want to have? I kind of want Heart Finder and Flower Finder. I think those will be our best bet, actually, going forward here. Just to make sure we can kind of conserve resources a little bit. And I might unequip Piercing Blow to be able to equip both. Yeah, I think that's basically it for my badge setup for the next section. Save the game, and with that, we are good to go.